Sheamus is probably the nicest and friendliest rooster in the world, but that doesn't change the immutable fact that he ruins everything. No, but seriously, I like Sheamus, he ruins everything. Everything, not just things he's directly interacted with. His red hair has ruined all sunsets, his face has ruined smiling, and his white skin has ruined Christmas. He's a top wrestler, his team with Cesaro is one of the best things about Monday Night Raw right now, but he ruins things. If Sheamus has ruined anything in your life, send us a picture along with the hashtag #SheamusRuinedThis. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about Sheamus. Number 10, 1-800-Fella. Sheamus' 3-year babyface run ruined comedy. He spent every single week bro-kicking humor to death with his awful f***ing jokes scripted by the worst filth of the creative department. During his feud with Alberto Del Rio, which was booked so it felt like it lasted for about 74 years, he did skits where he stole Bertie's car, where he kicked the shit out of Ricardo Rodriguez as only a babyface could, pretended his surname was Lipschitz, and a dreadful legal bit with David the Death of All Joyo Tunga, but the worst thing Sheamus ever did was the 1-800-Fella ads. To rejuvenate the Celtic Warriors character or put it out of its misery, hard to tell, WWE aired commercials where Sheamus would solve problems by kicking them. Cat stuck in a tree? Call 1-800-Fella. Bad case of the hiccups? 1-800-Fella. Do you still have a small bit of human empathy left? Call 1-800-Fella. That'll take care of it. Number 9, losing to a turkey. For a long while, it felt like nobody could beat Sheamus. Now, I'm not saying his World Heavyweight Championship run ruined 2012, but it did. It did, you know. However, someone who does have a victory over the Great White, a puppet of a turkey. Dustin the Turkey, in fact, a famous character on Irish television from the same show that brought the world zig and zag, and if you've never heard of them, I hate you. Years before he debuted as a Sheamus we all know and think ruins stuff, Sheamus appeared on Dustin's daily news and a feud between him and the prize poultry erupted. They had an actual fight, and the winner was the turkey. Now that's all fun and games, and Sheamus' later interactions with Beaker have shown he does love a puppet, but if Vince was terrified of having Sheamus lose for years, he might not want to get out that he lost to a turkey. Number 8, DX kicking the piss out of him. As we've already covered in 11 infamous before they were famous WWE cameos, one of our first major videos from way back when, God I miss 2015, we covered that superstars often appear as extras on WWE TV before they get famous. Look, here's WCPW's Joe Hendry as a Rosebud. Isn't that mental? Sheamus is no different, dressing as a security guard and having the ginger piss kicked out of him on an episode of Raw in 2006, eating the out of a pedigree. 2 years later, he won the WWE title and then went on to face the man who destroyed him, Triple H, at WrestleMania. I think in the build-up to that match, they might have wanted you to forget that Triple H once danced all over his punk ass. Number 7, the big chair. Well, it's the big chair. So the Big Show is big, right? He wears big clothes, he wears big shoes, and he needs a big cereal. Also, when the Big Show participates in chairs matches, he hits people with big chairs. No, seriously, this happened on pay-per-view in 2012. It was a TLC pay-per-view and Big Show fought Sheamus in a chairs match for the World Heavyweight Championship. You know, chairs matches, the awful paint-drinking black sheep of the TLC family. The ending of the match was, no joke, the Big Show pulling out a giant chair and clonking Sheamus with it. It looked like a f***ing Carrot Top skit, and the only thing more embarrassing than being the one wielding the chair is being the one hit by it and then pinned. Poor Sheamus. Number 6, fighting Sin Cara. Pretty much everyone fights Sin Cara. I'm pretty sure even I've had a backstage brawl with him by this point. The dude has anger management issues and has decked a whole host of people backstage, including Simon Gotch, Chris Jericho, which is why Jericho wore a Sin Cara mask to sucker punch Rollins on Raw after Survivor Series, and of course, Sheamus. In 2014, the two had a confrontation. It's unclear what about, but as seems to be the way with the Faceless One's numerous scuffles, Sin Cara decked his opponent, sweeping Sheamus' legs from under him and raining punches. Of course, Sheamus is supposed to be a conquering warrior and a great white shark in human form, so they probably want you to forget the fact that a guy who hasn't been relevant in many years laid him out. Number 5, that King of the Ring outfit. Get out of here with that crown. Get the out of here. Now, it may be that I'm accidentally mocking a famous and treasured icon of Celtic heritage, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. That crown. Sheamus ruined King of the Ring. Number 4, fighting Yoshi Tatsu. My name is Sheamus and I love to fight. And he ruddy bloody does as well. Turns out Sheamus has had not one but 2 backstage brawls that went public. The second was with Yoshi Tatsu, the man with the catchiest earworm entrance theme ever. Remember? I'm losing it. I've done too many of these. The popular story is that the two men were in developmental and Sheamus had borrowed money from TATSU. When he didn't pay it back in a fashion deemed timely by the Cardiac Kid, apparently that was his nickname at some point, he went ahead and slapped the Celtic Warrior around. Again, bit embarrassing considering that YOSHI barely featured on Raw during his 7 years with the company. Number 3, he stole a Rumble win from Y2J. I'm still cross about this. So Sheamus won the 2012 Royal Rumble. He'd go on to win the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania in 18 seconds, then do other heinous things like feud with Alberto Del Rio for 142 years and ruin the concept of giant chairs. Anyway, the Royal Rumble win was so shocking people expected it to go to Chris Jericho. Y2J had returned not long before and cut one of the weirdest and best promos of the year where he returned, said nothing for ages and then walked away. He had this whole end of the world is coming shtick and was booked to win the Royal Rumble. However, because it was deemed too predictable, it was changed at the last minute to Sheamus. Yay! Winning by default. Sometimes things are predictable because they feel right, and Jericho absolutely should have won that Rumble to make his subsequent feud with Punk for the WWE title feel even bigger. I'm furious. Sheamus ruins everything. Number 2, his WWE title reigns were all terrible. Fair's fair to the pale whale himself. Sheamus was booked to be a pretty dominant world heavyweight champion. He had the 3rd longest reign in the belt's history at 210 days, knocking off Daniel Bryan, Alberto Del Rio, Dolph Ziggler and Chris Jericho. His WWE title reigns, not so much. He held the belt 3 times, each time he was booked to look like a transitional champion, each time retaining the belt with other people's help. Sure, he won the belt on his 2nd pay-per-view, but it was by fluke with Cena falling back through a table. He retained by DQ at the Rumble, then lost at Elimination Chamber, eliminated 4th, not even last. The 2nd time he won the belt at Fatal 4-Way 2010 thanks to interference from the Nexus, retained the belt against Cena at Money in the Bank thanks to interference from the Nexus, retained at SummerSlam against Orton via DQ, then lost it at Night of Champions. Great stuff. Finally, he cashed in at Survivor Series 2015, remember, the good one, retained at TLC thanks to the League of Nations, then lost it the next night on Raw. Tidy. Tidy few reigns there. And number 1, walking in on Daniel Bryan f***ing. He did. He did. Not just that, but the first time that he and Brie Bella tried to have sex. And look, I'm not lying about Sheamus ruining everything. As revealed by the greatest GOAT of all time himself in his autobiography, Bryan and Bella had just started seeing each other and were getting ready to do a most wonderful and lovely bit of first sex when Ted DiBiase and Sheamus stormed into their hotel room drunk, with Sheamus going literally, and Daniel Bryan quotes him, "Ah, fella. Sheamus, what is wrong with you?" And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.